Let's take a look at Friday. There are 11 games on. Let's preview it. Let's take a look at the streaming options and how we look at the next few days and some players that are going to be important for us for fantasy basketball. Michael Bolton, you're important to us always.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and yo Goober, where's the meat? I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets. To use across the app, head to FanDuel.com to get started. And thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free, and we are available on all platforms. If you're watching this, hello. We aren't having a recap show for Thursday's one game. I don't think there's much point in it unless something absolutely ridiculous happens that's worth talking about. And then I'll probably do like a short or something. But for one game, we're not going to do it. We are doing this preview for Friday. And then there won't, again, don't get your hopes up on this. There won't be a recap for Friday's 11 games. I don't do Friday recaps as a general rule. And normally I would have tried to do this one. But I am going to see Metallica. So I won't be around. I've got to be heading out to go and do that. So I've got to see Metallica, which should be pretty good. Pretty good. All right, what we are talking about here is, of course, Friday's games. It is the daily look ahead. So let's look ahead to those 11 games. Now, for the vast majority of you, I'm guessing, and you can check this for yourself if you like, but for most of you, you will not likely have a situation where you've got open roster spots. So there's always got to be a level of caution in what you're doing at this time, because we're going to look at the three major storylines to look at here. But if you don't have an open roster spot, if you are making a move for Friday, it should be a move that you think has longer term appeal. Switching out your 10th player in your starting lineup to add somebody to get them in, like the difference is going to have to be either really sizable for Friday or there is longer term appeal in that move. That's the idea here. All right, and so we'll talk about some of these guys and some of the options and where value is spiking and all that sort of stuff. But switch out, again, it's easier to describe it in a fantasy points mold. But if the 10th guy, your 10th starter, you think is a 27 fantasy point player, and you go, well, this guy's available on the wire and he might get me 31, I should waste a move just to get that in. Like, to get 4 extra points, useless. Absolute waste of a move. But if adding that player gets you 4 extra points, but also gets you 4 games in the next 6 nights, or has a pathway to be a long-term startup, then yeah, the 4 points is immaterial. You're doing it for the other values, for the other benefits of it. What are the 3 key storylines? We know that Idris Bam Adebayo is out for Friday. He has also been listed as day-to-day by the Heat on their official Twitter, meaning this is not a long-term thing. So if you ran to add Superman, Kel'el, Ware, well done. The correct move. It doesn't matter if it's only 1 or 2 games. Those are the situations where you've got to go and run to take the chance. If you decided to go and run to add Little Chungus, Nikola Jovic, I'm not as interested in that. I'm not even sure he was going to play any minutes at backup center. But also now, I definitely wouldn't bother with that. Because A, would you even start him on Friday? And B, what if he just plays 20 minutes the game after anyway? That's the difference. But we want to see what changes here, because they're 2 number 1 usage guys. Or maybe not, because Powell, but like Bam and Herro are out. It's going to be a lot of Wiggins, a lot of Powell. Going to get decent amount of Triple H, I'm guessing. And then guys like Pala Larson maybe stepping up. Maybe Jovic does do a little bit more. And Ware's going to have big usage too. I do want to watch, in Sacramento, Russell Westbrook's role. I'll very, very freely admit it. I did not think that he'd be an ad, and he is. Very much wrong. I did not believe that the Kings would play him 33 minutes a night. Now, it has been helped by Keegan being out, and now Levine being out, and Sabonis being out. That has obviously helped give him that extra role, but I didn't think they'd be stupid enough to prioritize him, and they are. Is that, if Sabonis and Levine come back, is Russ a 29-minute starter? Is he a 33-minute starter? Is he the number 1 usage guy? Where does he fit in with everything? Because he was great last game. but I don't really know about it. And then one of the big questions of the day is Moses Moody, because he has been, and we'll talk about Moody a little bit more later on, he has been ridiculously good, right? Ridiculously good in the last 2 games. Steph is out for Friday with illness. Jimmy Butler is questionable. But is Moody now in the mix of the rotating starters for the foreseeable future with Brandon Podziemski and Quinton Post? It probably doesn't matter. He probably does start now that Steph is ruled out anyway. Podziemski, Moody, Butler, Green, Post, I'm guessing. Oh, sorry, Butler, or maybe not. Because what if Post doesn't start because Kuminga's in there too? Or if they do start Post, one of Moody or Podziemski comes off the bench. So, yeah, that is a key thing, I think, for us to pay attention to. We also want to look at some of the injury updates, some of the key injury updates that we need to see. The medical room will travel over there. Hopefully we're all in good health ourselves. But let's check on what the injury statuses we need to look at. One of them is LaMelo Ball, who is at least upgraded to questionable with an ankle impingement. So, like I've said, it's not great. I am thinking, and mate, again, there is a level of copium here. I know that. I'm high. I wish I was high. No, the copium is here, right? A little bit. But I know that they did this last season too. And I'm twisting some of the words that they've said. One of the things they said is, LaMelo, he's going through a shoot around. We're trying to make it so that it is beneficial for him to play as many games as he can throughout the season. So we're managing things now, which to me means, yes, your ankle is a consistent problem, which is really, that's troubling. But if you take the time off now, when your team has 3 games in 9 nights, it gives you managed rest, managed rehab, and you don't miss games. I mean, you miss 3, but teams can play 6 games in 9 nights. So when I take that statement of we're trying to do things to get him to play as many games as he can throughout the season, taking the rest, which again mirrors exactly what they did last season, taking the rest now in a week where they don't really play to give that extended rehab period might be part of the long-term plan. Or I might as well have my head down here, my ass up here, and that's where the words are coming out of. I don't know. But we watch it, right? They also popped Colin Sexton on the injury report. Probable, but anyway. The big areola concanipple should be able to take advantage if LaMelo is out. If Butler is out, it is Moses Moody, and we're going to talk a lot about Moody today. In fact, I don't know. I haven't created it, but I probably will create it with Moody on the thumbnail. And Toby Harris has been ruled out just as I've gone in here. So Harris is out, so you're going to see more Alf Stewart, the Flaming Galah, and rugged Ronnie Holland played a pretty big role last time out for the Pistons as well. Let's just have a look now at this, at the schedule, how the games are playing out, who's actually on Saturday, or sorry, on Friday, and yeah, the statuses that we need to look at. So I'll run through it. Cavaliers and the Wizards. That's the first game of the day. The Cavs are massive favorites there. You've got the Celtics and the Magic, the Rockets and the Spurs, the Pistons and the Nets, Raptors and Hawks, Jazz and Wolves, Hornets, Heat, Bulls, Bucks, Mavs, Grizz. Geez, that's a cracker. Thunder, Kings, and Warriors, and the Nuggets is the next one. So let's go to each game and just see where we're at injury-wise and status-wise on these players. First game up is Cavs and Wizards. What we do have, DeAndre Hunter is upgraded to probable. Chris Middleton is off the injury report. Dean Wade is out. Bilal is out. And then Lonzo Ball is out. So some of those things that are on the screen there don't match up because, again, just as I record this, which I love when it happens, an injury report just dropped for the Cavs, and that's important. So Bilal out, Middleton in, Hunter in, Wade out, Lonzo out. That's for that first game. The second game is the Boston Celtics and the Orlando Magic. And this one's pretty clean on the injury report. We know that Mo Wagner is still out. Xavier T. Illman is out for the Celtics as well. They're the 2 early games. The next game is the Rockets and the Spurs. Steven Adams is questionable. For the Rockets, Luke Cornett is one we need to check on for the Spurs. He's missed since about opening night. Darren Fox remains out, and Dorian Finney-Smith remains out for the Rockets. Him coming back is going to further cramp Reed Shepherd, by the way. So if you are holding Reed, hoping for stuff, it's probably getting worse, not better. Detroit and Brooklyn. We did get the news that the Thick Hogsman, Toby Harris, is out. So that is confirmed. Cam Thomas is out for the Nets. Jaden Ivey is out for the Pistons. Marcus Sasser remains out as well. But Karis LeVert did pop up as questionable. So you could be without Harris and LeVert, which does mean that you're going to get way more minutes for the Spur, Duncan Robinson, old Sam, and probably more for Ron Holland there as well, and more for Alf Stewart. The next game, which is the 5th game of the day, We're going to the Toronto Raptors and the Atlanta Hawks. We know that Trae Young is out, but honestly, there's no one currently listed questionable or doubtful or any sort of short-term injuries there at all, which is good. It's good, unless something crops up. Utah and Minnesota. The only injury currently that we don't know about is the status of Terrence Shannon, and his status is he's not going to play much anyway, so it doesn't matter. George Niang remains out for Utah. Of course, Walker Kessler is out for the year. Probably won't mention that again. Charlotte and Miami. Like I said, LaMelo Ball is officially questionable. Herro is out, and Bam is out. They have recalled Vlad Golden, if you don't know who Vlad Golden is. Two-way center, 7-footer from Michigan. He is a rookie. I don't know if he's even played a second yet, but them calling him up suggests that he will get a run at backup center, and maybe not Kashad Johnson or maybe not Nikola Jovic. So just be aware for those of you in deep leagues, if you want to get really funky, old mate Vlad Golden could get yourself, might get 10 minutes, might get 12 minutes, which for the old double Onyxers, maybe, or they've already, sorry, my bad. They already grabbed Vlad Golden. But if you're just a level below the double Onyx, maybe you can consider Vlad Golden as an option there. The next game after Hornets Heat is the Bulls and the Bucks. The only real one we need to watch there, we know Kobe is still out, Kobe White, but Ayo Dosunmu has missed the last two. Last game it was Isaac Okoro who went crazy, but realistically it just gives a slight bump for Trey Jones and a little bit more for Fanapants, Kevin Herter, and it doesn't impact a huge amount. Okay, I don't really expect Okoro to repeat what he did. The next game we look at is Dallas and Memphis. Anthony Davis has been upgraded to doubtful. Now, he's not going to play, but upgraded to doubtful means that return is coming soon. Zach Edey has been assigned to the G League for rehabs. He's still not there, but that looks like it could be coming soon as well. And Derek Lively remains on the outs for the Dallas Mavericks. The late games, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Sacramento Kings. Of course, the Thunder injury report and the Kings injury report is very weird. We don't know yet. Nothing has been confirmed because it is a late game. But Jalen Williams will be out. Very certain of that. Lou Dort missed the last game, got him questionable. Alex Caruso rested the last game. I'm pretty certain he will play. Chet Holmgren missed the last game with the back problem. Pretty certain he will play. The ones we don't know about that is important here is going to be Dort. And then there are two huge ones in Sacramento, Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis. LaVine is sick, so I think he has a chance of playing. Sabonis copped that whack from Jokic really early in that game and got rib issues, so he's probably more doubtful to me. And if he is out, then you see Drew Eubanks step up and provide give us almost a Jock Landau, basically, which is a fine line without being super exciting. The final game is the Warriors and the Nuggets. The Warriors are pretty clean. The Nuggets are pretty clean on their injury report. Steph Curry is out now, officially out. Jimmy Butler is questionable and Draymond Green is probable, while Alex Tui is off the injury report. Not that he necessarily play, but we know that Curry is out. So there's one hole in the starting lineup there that's open. And Jim might be out as well, potentially creating another. We'll come back and look at schedule stuff as well as stream plays. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by DoorDash. Saying DoorDash like that sounds weird, but hopefully me saying DoorDash makes you remember it because they are here for the NBA season. The perfect way to keep you in your bag all season long. Watching the game, watching your team, watching your fantasy players, watching your favorite players, watching the highlights. DoorDash makes every game night even better. And it is also DoorDash, the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA. How stupid is language? DoorDash is celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with the Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the Ultimate Fan Bag. Ultimate Fan Bag has things like player-inspired drip, when we get that checked out, exclusive gear and stuff that you'll actually want. So next time someone goes off for 50, use the promo code NBA50. I wonder if it counts if someone gets 50 rebounds. Would they honor that? Surely. Doesn't matter. NBA, the code is NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only, 50% off up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April the 13th. Open to US residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashinyourbag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Okay. Let's talk schedule stuff. It's a good idea. Get into how we can work our way to manipulate the sneaky guys we are, manipulate some of the schedule, get some extra games in, pay a little bit of attention to just getting that little bit of an edge of our opponent. Remember, though, we're in week 3 of the season, so this isn't your paramount goal. It's a side goal and becomes more of a goal later on. We have got 9 teams, shout out to the NBA, 9 teams playing back-to-backs. This is the NBA Cup Day on Friday as well, but 9 teams playing the first of a back-to-back, creating bad basketball on the Saturday. Now, Saturday is not a busy day. It's not a super busy day in the NBA. So this is where this gets annoying, right? On Saturday, we have 8 games on. That is 16 teams. 9 of those 16 teams are coming in on a back-to-back. We've got 1 game on Thursday, though. All good. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Hawks, Bulls. Any worries with injuries there? Porzingis, we have to check very clearly. Cavs and Mavs. Darius Garland. Anthony Davis, does he return on Saturday? Perhaps. Nuggets, Heat, not too worried about anyone there. Spurs and Raptors, not too worried about anyone there. And the Wizards, also not too worried about anyone there on that back-to-back. Let's take a look, though, at, again, it's hard. Look, you can stream the back-to-back if you want, but be aware. A streaming of a back-to-back is not useful if you're already replacing somebody in your active lineup on Friday, because you're not getting 2 games for the price of 1. You're getting 1.1 games for the price of 1. And if you're trying to eke out a 10% bump, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. The chunks. We love some chunky stuff around here. We're big fans of chunks. Over the next 5 days, that is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, there are 4 streamable days. Not Friday, but the next 4 are. The Indiana Pacers play 3 times in those 4 low-volume days. So if you were debating removing chucking legend Aaron Nesmith or the national tile, Jarris Walker, hello, or Isaiah Jackson, who was a spud last game, or Ben Shepherd, who was good last game, here's a chance. And this is what we talk a lot about, right? With these Spudrick level players, these guys are going, is he good or not? I don't even know. He's playing, whatever, right? These fringy sort of players. When you stream them in, often it's like, I'm doing desperation one day thing, or you want to see what happens. So we talked about a lot with fringe Suns, or, what do you do with John Collins for the Clippers, for example? But like when the schedule makes a lot of sense, it gives you this little time period here. And often these guys are so inconsistent, they'll have great game, terrible game. 3 games in 4 nights for Nesmith, Walker, Jackson, and Shepherd. They're all guys that I'm sure you've all gone, do I bother with it? But with 3 games in 4 nights, and if you add them, you hold them for that time period, you should at least get 1 good game, maybe 2, and then you eliminate a level of that variance versus Shepherd just had a good game, let me add him. He has a bad game, I drop him. He has a good game, I add him. He has a bad game, I drop him. I hope that makes sense. The other guy to look at there, which of course he's just a must-roster player, but he's only 29% rostered on Yahoo. It is the big fella, the I'm ready to get hurt again legend, Yusuf Nurkic. He just has to be rostered everywhere. And sure, you might hit February and he's not the starter anymore. But you know what? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Is he going to be bad at field goals? It seems like it, but bloody hell, has to be rostered. And he won't be good every game, but he has to be rostered. But he's sitting at 29%. So the chunk part is just, again, an excuse for me to tell you that to roster Yusuf Nurkic. What about 5s and 2s? Over the next 7 days, 2 teams, the Atlanta Hawks and the Cleveland Cavaliers, play 5 games in the next 7 nights. Bad news for Porzingis lovers. He's going to sit a couple of games there. But a Kongwu. And if you are a fan of gay action, you will get some more Muhammad during this time, I would guess. So Muhammad, why are you gay? Will get some 20-plus minute nights, I'm guessing, with Porzingis out over the next 5 nights. So if you're looking in a slightly double on-ish, a bit of a double, a deeper 175 or 200-plus league, and you go, well, look, what can I do that's a bit cheeky here? Maybe it's gay. 5 games, 7 nights. Although the games that Porzingis is in, he's not doing very much. The Cavs, Jarrett Allen, busted finger. Lonzo Ball, in and out. Darius Garland, toe. Mitchell, hammy. Is it worth having Jalen Tyson? Dean Wade's out, so he's not really an option, but Tyson, slamming Sammy Merrill. He's also dealing with his own injuries. But 5 games, 7 nights. I think I've banged home that point enough. We're going to come back and look at streams of the day. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. The NBA is back, and there is no better place to get in on that action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. You can miss the start of a game on FanDuel as well, because you can just log straight into the app as the game's going, place live bets. Who's going to score next? Bet on it. Who's going to do a comeback? What's the score going to be at the end of the game? What's the total going to look like? You can bet all of that live in-game. Plus, all those live bets that you do while the game is going on, you can combine them into a live same-game parlay as well. And it enables you to put your eye test to the test. Right now, FanDuel is also giving new customers $300 in bonus bets for your first $5 bet, if it wins. Go to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. Today's episode is also brought to you by Prize Picks. We make decisions every day. I make a decision to get out of bed looking like this. That's a decision. You make decisions, but Do you get paid for it? Well, on Price Picks, if your decisions are right, you do get paid for it. So you can get the excitement in the NBA season, NBA, NFL, whatever it is, on Price Picks. It's easy. It's simple. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, well, you win. It takes you less than 60 seconds to set it up, and you can play anywhere that Price Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. So download the Price Picks app today and use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The code is LOCKEDONNBA for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Price Picks, it is good to be right. We're here to talk streaming, best streams of the day for the action on Friday, if you've got the ability to do it. And some of these will maybe have a little bit more longer term appeal as well. So let's have a look at the streams of the day. We'll get in there with the, there's quite a few here, and some of this will change depending on other guys who get ruled out. But at the moment, I do like, for 10-team leagues, Mr. Black. Anthony Black has got a pretty solid role. Tyus Jones does not fit with this Magic team. His pick and roll style doesn't make sense. They don't play him. He's not really meshing anywhere, so they're just giving Black a lot of minutes. And he's generating some defensive stats with some okay scoring. I like streaming Anthony Black. In fact, he is still, now I've tried to drop him a few times, but I've missed my waiver claims. But in my industry pickup league, I've got Anthony Black on it's a 12-man, 150-player roster. I've got him there, just holding him, trying to get rid of him because he's sort of a fringy guy, but as a stream guy, 10-team, I like it. I did have Lonzo as your 12-team streamer of the day, but Lonzo's out, so that's not going to happen. Your 14-team, maybe let's go and have a look. Who's my replacement? One sec. I think I'll replace Lonzo as that 12-team streamer of the day with his teammate, Slammin' Sammy Merrill. By the way, just as I'm recording this, I'm going to need to do... You guys, I need a favor. I'm going to need you guys to sit down for a second because this has probably never happened in the NBA before. Let me just take you up to Minnesota for a second, because Anthony Edwards came back from a hamstring strain. Didn't play very well. Played 28 minutes and didn't shoot so well. Okay, did he come back too early? No, it never happened before. Guess who's on the injury report as questionable with a hamstring issue for Friday's game? It's Anthony Edwards. I am amazed. They did everything right. They followed all the rules and protocols, and just somehow he's back on the injury report with the questionable tag. Now, I don't know, he might play or not, but are you idiot serious? I've never seen a situation, I probably have, I just choose not to remember them, but I've never seen a situation where a thing just keeps happening and keeps repeating and keeps repeating. And these teams are doing the Tobias Bluth meme of like, does it work for any of them? No, but it could work for us. Anyway, so Anthony Edwards, questionable again with his hamstring. Absolutely unbelievable, unprecedented stuff. Your 14-team stream of the day, who'd probably move right to the top of this list, is the big fella in Golden State, Moses Moody. Now, Moody, as I just realized my face is on there, which it shouldn't be, Al Bozo, take it off, Moody has been ludicrous. In the last 2 games, one of them without Steph, without Jimmy, and without Draymond, and the other one without a real Jimmy who played like 10 minutes, he has scored combined in 2 games 52 points and 11 threes. He has shot 11 from 19 from 3. So immediately just so that's not a real thing. He's also played 36 minutes a night over those 2 games. Cool. He's also averaging, this is for the season, 1.1 blocks per game, fueled by getting 4 in that last game. But last season he averaged 0.4 blocks in the same amount of minutes. I've got him projected at the moment for 23 fantasy points, even with Steph out. But he had like 50 last game. So he's an interesting stream, but he did the thing. And you know what the thing is. He got given extra opportunity. Players out, minutes way up, 36 minutes. He's averaging 22 on the season, including the 36. Right, way up. And then he went and shot 56% from 3, and he blocked 1 million shots, which he doesn't do, to make everything look ridiculously good, turning opportunity into outsized production. So that's all very good. So a lot of people say like Moses Moody's a must-add player. I don't really agree with that. And even if he was to start long-term, Kerr is not going to commit to one starter. That's going to rotate through. He wouldn't either shoot this well, have the same usage, or play defense like this. That's just not who he's going to be. But for now, with Steph out and Jimmy maybe out, well, there might be something in it. For your 16-team stream of the day, we're going to go to Tyrese Martin. Ben Saraf, G League. Nolan Traore, G League. Danny Wolf, G League. Jaeger Dioman, bad. Cam Thomas, injured. Martin is going to start and probably play 30 minutes. Is Martin good? Not particularly, but in a league that goes out to 200 players deep, you do want to use him. Yahoo points, I'll tell you again, like Yusuf Nurkic is available. Why? We're using 35% rostered as a cutoff, going at him. And then in ESPN, Davion Mitchell. As much as I don't like what Davion Mitchell brings as a long-term category league player, his availability on ESPN does make him a good stream for the games on Friday. Let's dig through the list a little bit more. We'll go to our 10-team stream list. Mr. Black, Jock Londale. I've got Lonzo there, just again, Sam Merrill into that spot. Moses Moody and Gaz Trent as 10-team streamers for 12 teamers. Look at the first list. A lot of options there for you. I've got Bubble Champagny in San Antonio. Justin Champagny in Washington, maybe not as useful. But given the fact that Bilal is out, do they start Middleton back in Bilal's spot and keep Champagny? Because the guy that Bilal replaced was Bub Carrington. Or does Bub go into the starting lineup and Champagny move to the bench? But anyway, we're looking to make Julian here. But just keep an eye on Justin. Little Chungus, Nikola Jovic. Some extra touches, some extra shooting, but like not a long-term ad. Tyrese Martin's there. Drew Smith in Miami as well, a little bit more for him to do. And someone who I'm very interested at the moment is Noah Clowney, who's been starting for Brooklyn. Maybe he gets some extra shots without Cam Thomas. And there is a path for Clowney to be a rest of season guy. It's not guaranteed. It's probably not likely, but there is a path for it. For deep league category streamers, Goga Badadze, Najee Marshall, Dayron Sharp, The Spiral, Luke Kennard, and Al Horford is another one who's going to have opportunities in Golden State, even though his minutes are going to continually be restricted. We know this. Your Yahoo points streams of the day. Nurkic, Gafford. Yes, Gafford is available. And for the short term, he just should be rostered. Now, once Davis is back, we'll reassess. And when Lively is back, we'll further reassess. But for now, go with it. Davion Mitchell's there as a Yahoo point streamer. Wendell Carter Jr. and Anthony Black. For ESPN points leagues, you already know that Davion Mitchell sits up the top of this list. We've got Yusuf Nurkic there as well. Nurkic, way more long-term value, so go with him over Mitchell. The reason he doesn't project as well on a single-game basis is Mitchell's got the boost of Bam being out, and Nurkic's bad field goals can hurt you in ESPN points, but he's clearly the longer-term guy there. Wendell Carter Jr. For all you Culk heads out there, the big Culk, Ryan Culk Brenner, is there, and Mr. Black is also an option for ESPN points leagues. And that is a daily look ahead for Friday with 11 games on. You say 11 or 11? I've heard, slight sidebar as we end the show, that I didn't really know this, but people in Australia, we have accents, yeah. But also, I didn't realize that people in Victoria have a regional accent. And we say A and E at the start of words the same. Like the word, like the name of the, let me try and think of a good, who's a person who's got this name? Give me one sec. I'll tell you what, the Cleveland Cavs center, he's Jarrett Allen, right? Jarrett Allen. The talk show host who used to have her own sitcom, who famously came out in that sitcom and then got banned from, sort of blackballed for a while, who's married to an Australian and her name's DeGeneres, I would say her name the same way, Allen. Jarrett Allen, Allen DeGeneres. Although everyone else says Ellen. Apparently, Allen. We say them the same. So, I don't even know where I got to that. How did I even get to that? Who knows? But apparently in Victoria only, words that start with A and words that start with E, we say it the same way. 11. I say 11. Anyway, dumb accent talk. Subscribe, thumb, bang, comment, hype. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.